Oh boy, where did we end off last episode?
Oh gosh.
Uh, Geez, it was on the tail of all of the gala and at the Longhorn Estate, and you were able to find some information, pull it out of I think he was a gnome. Ended up being a lieutenant in the Black Salamander gang, basically. And you found out some important information that you used to kind of track down the location to that area towards the back of the keep. Emercina found out a little bit of information, fresh information on her brother. And you all headed out to the keep after a good night's sleep. Not a good night's sleep for Ormia, who was struggling because she used the compass on that creature and had a bit of, a lot of mixed feelings, complex emotions regarding that. Not such a great night for anyone else because no one was really feeling good about that, especially because the gnome ended up dying after having, being carried through the town and bleeding. Ended up bleeding out. But we
did a good job with his body. I mean, we were respectful and...
Yeah. As Caitlin stuffed the corpse into some bushes behind someone's house, young girls sort of saw her in the window like, hi, waved at one another, which was great. And things kind of came to a head as Ormia was working out some of her feelings on some iron in her blacksmithing shop. And a good talk was had, tentative, peace within the party as they sorted out some of their feelings regarding this and what expectations, basically. They headed out to the rear of the keep where they found this massive 100-foot in width or diameter mage circle, basically. It was stone circle in this clearing in the very back of this plot of land, just before a sheer cliff off to a large lake below that sprawled out. As best everyone could see, the weather's a little bit foggy still. Azalea stepped out from a tree and took form as she stepped out from a large tree to greet them. And a red-furred wolf trotted up and shifted from this wolf form to councilperson Scarlet Shuffletrot, just next to Azalea, where they greeted the party and gave a quick, very brief rundown about this being a place of great power. And that one of the side effects of that power is this portal to the Fae that can be opened. You can step through the veil to the Fae from this area. And that's where we were, and that's where we'll pick it up.
So first thing, what do we know about the Fae realm in general? The Feywild, is it called the Feywild?
Astrid knows. She has some stories. She's heavily Fae. Fawns are. So she heard stories growing up, and I've sort of sent her most of that information, what she knows. Anyone that is proficient in history, if you want to make a history check, you can see what you might know. Or if any of you feel like, oh, I might have an idea because I've experienced the Fae somehow. Then you can...
Double digits.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I gotta move this so I can see. 17, 15, okay. And you know it exists. You know it's one of the planes closest to the prime material plane that you're all on. You know that there's a counterpart. No, that's probably all you really know is that it's a plane that's nearby. Kaylin and Ormia, you know a little bit more. You know there's also the Shadowfell, which is sort of a place of darkness. When the story goes, when the prime material plane was created by these ancient titans with almost godlike powers, they felt that some parts of the prime material plane were too bright and some were too dark. And so they ripped those from the prime material plane and created new planes for them. The Feywild, which had all the brighter places, and the Shadowfell. Is that it? Or, well, we'll say that's what it is for now. I can't actually remember if that's the name or if it's
Right.
Fey Dark or something else. Maybe it's a Fey Dark. Is the place for darkness. Now, Ormia, you and Kaylin actually, Ormia being a high elf and Kaylin, given your upbringing, you know that high elves are basically descended from the Eladrin, are like the true elves, and they came from the Fae. Actually, the place that they first appeared on the prime material plane here in Astralanor is that city that I wish I probably should pull up a map that you're aware of, Kaylin, that you were raised right near, right outside of. That's the original site where they came through. And they're all haughty-taughty about that. And, descended into, mixed with just standard elves, became this other creature altogether as they lost touch with all the magic of the Fae. So the more powerful ancestors, rather, would be the Eladrin. So you're aware that some Eladrin remain behind. The Eladrin nobility. I think that's probably all you know about the Fae for now.
Okay.
So Councilperson Shuffletrot, asks, based on the encounter so far, you are looking to travel to the Fae?
I'm not entirely sure. Sorry, getting back into character. I'm looking for someone, and he was apparently delivered to a sprite and a satyr. And I'm assuming that if he was brought through this forest, that he would have ended up there. I don't know why, but...
Strange. Azalea, she looks up at Azalea. You can sense when someone's on the property, yes? Does this sound familiar to you? Have you experienced this? Azalea, looks down. There was a presence here a while back. A Fey presence, yes. 2 creatures around the same time as some rather sneaky and elusive humanoids of some sort. But they left.
Could you tell if one of these humanoids by chance was an elf?
I couldn't know, but did feel as though the Fae left with one of the humanoids, likely through the portal. Well, it's some powerful magic to open this portal. But they left without incident before we assembled, so we have no call to pursue.
Then we need to go through.
Councilwoman Shuffletrot, says, well, listen, long time ago, I actually went through this very portal, and if there's anything I've learned about the Fae, it's that you really need to be on guard. Be very careful who you trust, and definitely expect the unexpected. I met the original earth elemental of the Feywild while I was there. Stood taller than 3 mountains and spoke to us, and just be prepared. There's a lot of crazy that happens there.
You said be careful who you trust. Does that mean there are actually beings we can trust?
We found a few. There are some good people there. But even good people can might like to create some trouble or tease us prime material folks. Not to say they're not fond of us, but they usually like to have some fun, which is not so fun for us. I think a healthy outlook would be just give everyone a second glance before trusting anyone implicitly there.
So the Fae's like any particular city you could name.
Well, the Fae, it mirrors the prime material plane as far as land and ocean, for the most part. When we went there, we found ourselves in the kingdom of Evernight, and the Perpetual Night, cleverly named, of course. And, there was so much going on then. Such a busy place. But we did have to return at one point in our adventures, and it did not bring us to the same place a second time. And though merely it was a matter of years that had passed for us, it was about a century and a half that passed in the Fae during that same time. Time runs very differently there. Something to be cautious of when returning. If someone is trying to sell you on a quick and easy return, not using a proper portal or proper means, don't trust them. You can lose time or even your memory of your experiences while you were in there. Lots of fun, the Feywild. Yes. I think, if I'm remembering all of it.
So if someone has been there for 3 weeks of our time or so, how long could have passed?
Time could be flowing the same, perhaps 3 weeks, or perhaps 3 years, or 30. We had a very difficult time returning the first time, finding a means to return with the intent of returning in the same time frame as when we left. The closest we were guaranteed was a month from the time frame that we were hoping for. So, very difficult to say. It ebbs and flows, in my experience, if I'm remembering it right.
Ormia looks very, very distressed at that thought.
Seems like we're risking our sanity and our souls on this one.
Oh, our souls were up for forfeit a number of times. Definitely beware. The magic there is immense, almost immeasurable, and the creatures view life and time entirely differently than we do here. Things that seem factual here may not apply there. Nature, physics. It's a wonderful place, but dangerous.
I'm ready when everybody else is. I'm just like, let's just go. Like, there's been enough talking. We're always talking. Let's just go.
Kaylin's in agreement. Kaylin's
down.
Well, I have used my magic in quite a while, but Azalea, if you can assist. Here, first though, and she pulls from her pack. She's got a little pack on her back of her hip there. A couple of healing potions, and she passes out 7 standard healing potions. I wanted to do something in return, and this isn't much, but I feel like it may mean the world where you're headed. So please accept these. And she kind of goes, walks around looking up at everyone except Kaylin, who's about the same height. She is passing them out. She does seem to take an interest in Emracina. As she's passing it, she stops for a minute, pulls her hand back briefly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but you smell weird. Is that you have a different scent about you. And you can see, she has little wolf ears up on her head. She doesn't have ears in the side of her head. She's showing her true form. In her humanoid form, she has little wolf ears and a puffy red tail.
How so?
Just a different scent from most people. I feel like I've smelled it once before, but I can't place it.
She does shower.
From here, Ephron, which is the continent that you're on.
No.
May I ask where you're from? Still awkwardly sniffing you.
Why?
It's driving me crazy. I know this smell. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away. I know you have business to take care of, but
I want to tell her the town that I grew up in.
okay.
I forgot the name of, as always.
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
I'll look it up, but I'll say for now you tell her
Yeah.
the town. Yeah. Like, oh, that's on Calborum, right? Which is the continent that's on. That's not it, though. It's going to drive me crazy until I remember, but well.
It's driving me crazy.
It's
You're not possessed, are you, Em?
Are you okay? No, am I okay? I don't
Kaylin
know.
Kaylin backs away. Kaylin kind of steps away a bit.
nice.
I don't think so. I don't feel any different.
Oh, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Just a foreign scent. She kind of taps her pack on her hip. Well, we must get to work. And she, on her other hip, she has a tambourine that she pulls off, and she starts rapping this tambourine to a beat, and you feel this sort of swelling energy from her as she's tapping it. Really, you know how like a really good song makes you want to dance? Well, this really, you find yourselves tapping your feet, and it's just a swelling music from this tambourine. And Azalea steps over to the mage circle and marks a few lines with some chalk that she has and starts an incantation. And so let's see. Kaylin, you've been really sensitive to this, being proficient with our Arcana. And
Proficiency, strong
you
word.
hear this almost like the 60s cycle hum of electricity swelling. And before, currently only you see taking form across this mage circle, you see little light blue energy, wispy energy drawing up, and then it starts swirling around like wind is catching it in some sort of tunnel. It quickly becomes this really thick arcane energy, visible to you at this point, with this deep cobalt blue that works over to a very light blue. And now, instead of just swirling around, you see it barreling coming over the lake and barreling into the woods. Then you see the second stream, just as the first, appear, intersecting it. And at this point, everyone else that's not proficient in Arcana, you feel wind. Your clothes start flapping a bit, your hair. You feel this breeze and this energy. And as a third intersecting line right over the center of this mage circle starts to form, everyone can start seeing this massive torrent of energy. These three lines of arcane power intersecting and now swelling into a globe focused on the center of this mage circle. Everyone can see this bluish light. You feel the power radiating from it. There's a pressure to your ears, like there's a storm front that just... Stormfall that just landed here. And there's just intensity to the air around you. And Kaylin, you see this swirling in this huge torrent. It's actually a little bit nerve-wracking because it looks very dangerous.
Yeah.
And in the very center of these colliding forces, you see this very dark, like true black sphere forming in the center that crackles blue electricity out, arcing to the edges of this dome, this globe, basically, before finally cracking and snapping open to a sphere about the size of a kiddie pool.
Right, a kiddie pool.
Everyone up on the circle, form a circle around that. I know it looks a little dangerous, but Zalia knows what she's doing as she's smacking her tambourine still. This is be prepared for. You can't prepare for it. Just form a circle and you'll be there soon.
This isn't doing much for my confidence.
Sorry, she says. Ching, 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 ching.
Kaylin kind of is. Do you know what you're doing?
Yes. If I remember correctly. Ching, ching.
Okay, so do we, as player, do we have to like form a circle and like hold hands, or like just stand there?
Just in a circle. Hand holding is optional.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand there and I'm going to draw my sword. So if we have to make any sort of dexterity save, I have my advantage.
Ah, nice.
I will be on guard.
Awesome. All right. Is anybody not stepping up?
I'll step up. Kaylin will step up.
Okay.
Get ready.
I will figure everyone steps up then.
I
And
was
Yeah.
going back now.
Oh, right, returning. Ching, ching, and you hear this sound, and everything goes black as this sphere expands and encompasses everybody.
Well, crap.
And then from this loud, thunderous sound to nothing, then back to this big loud snap as you all pour out of nowhere. You all apparate in the middle of a forest. If everyone can make a dexterity save as you land.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
This is why I drew my sword. Advantage.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. This is pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Did I really not put this? Oh, this is what it is, right? No. I'm gonna be so upset if I didn't.
Kaylin, are you gonna roll? Like, roll on the ground?
Duck and cover. Right. I need to very quickly move the image over because apparently I didn't. I should also roll for the other two people.
Do everything, Dad. Do it all right now.
Everything.
All right, that's in there. And there we go. All right. Oh, of course, this image is huge. All right. I will share this out.
Give it about 5 hours.
Yeah. All right. While that's happening, I'm just going to roll for Felix, who's not here. It was just a dex save. And for Astrid.
Why is it so pretty?
Lovely.
Nice. Forest. Oh no, poor. Who's Ed? Poor Felix rolled a 3.
Oh.
All right. Emil, you land with perfect grace. Poof! You just land on the balls of your feet and then just step down to your heel like a pro. Even softer landing than that. You just poof, apparate perfectly in place.
So graceful.
Let's see.
Such grace, such beauty.
Ormia, you land and you do
and
this
then
smooth...
it pans down to Kaylin.
Nice, yeah. Ormia, you land to do like a quick tumble intentionally just to post up and be prepared. Perfectly smooth. Rhineland, same thing. You almost float down like you're underwater. Down to place. Kaylin, not so much. Astrid lands fine. Caitlin, you land, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to stand up and slip backwards a bit on some loose earth beneath your foot, and you fall over on your butt. Not completely backwards, but down on your butt. Felix. Felix does an entire face plant for sure. He lands. Oh!
Did you roll a 1?
He comes out of this like at a pace, like he's lands running a bit, but there's a tree branch like right there that he just and gets knocked over backwards. All right, let me share this out. Yeah. Okay. So what you all see is a very dense forest. There is some sunlight piercing through the trees and the canopy up above. At the sound of all of you landing here, a bunch of butterflies, blue, white, different arrangements of those colors, flutter up out of the grass around you and into the sky. They actually have a bit of a luminescence to them, and they light the darkened area of the forest here. You can see a bunch of them throughout this forest in the distance, dotting this landscape with their light. No one's injured though. That's really all you know of your surroundings so far.
Kaylin gets up and dusts herself
Perception
off.
check to see if there's anything around us.
Okay, yep, go ahead and make a perception check.
So I can get to my character sheet because there's like 17 layers here. Okay. Wow. There we go. That's it. There's the Wheaton.
You look around, Ormia, and the woods are just so dense, you're not really able to pick up on anything. You don't spot anything particularly dangerous or threatening in the area. You feel pretty confident you're okay.
Cool. I'm still keeping my sword out.
Kaylin's too distracted by the butterflies.
They're so pretty.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Never seen butterflies shine quite like this before.
Almost like stars.
I'm gonna do a perception check too.
Okay.
Despite watching the butterflies.
Whew, 18. Okay. As you look around, you're taking in the beauty of the sight, but also keeping a keen ear out for any trouble or any signs of life or danger. You see a patch through the canopy which allows you to see the sky up above. It appears to be probably early morning, like the sun has just risen recently. You actually see a little puff of smoke, as though someone has a chimney or a campfire running or something in that direction.
Hey guys, I think there's somebody else here.
Who?
I see some smoke through a clearing in the trees.
Oh.
Well, hopefully they're not burning people alive. Let's go check it out.
That's delightfully positive.
Kaylin starts walking.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we should all probably
Yeah.
do that.
Oh,
Let's be a little quiet.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, let's all do that.
Let's not just stomp
Let's
around,
not.
you know.
Oh,
Nice.
You're right. You're right.
Emil, you slip into the shadows. Ormia the same, and M the same. Wow, Kaylin too. Jeez. All right, I'm so
Alrighty.
sorry about this, Ed and
Feeling
Astrid.
very stealthy today.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh no, all right, Ed's got a pretty good, pretty solid thing going on here. Yeah. Oh, Ryan win!
Oh,
Whoops.
just try not to talk.
Oh, oops.
Put the accordion away.
But I can't! It calls to me! To my muse!
Despite the lack of any super heavy armor or anything, you you still
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
What's this?
Not
Oh, look
used
at
to the force.
all right. Oh, he just okay. Wow. All right. So essentially, everyone except Rhinewin manages to be fairly stealthy as you
Tiptoeing by Rhinewin and being like, shh.
there's twigs, there's things that you're just not noticing because there's a lot of other stuff with the butterflies and other things going on. You feel the energy of the place.
You know, he figured you'd be so graceful and quiet.
What? Graceful, yes. Quiet,
the whole
no.
water thing. So
Yeah, well, I'm a fish out of water.
Oh.
there you go. Okay.
Beautiful.
Literally. That's the best part.
As you're walking through, the trees look a fair bit different in that there's an added complexity to them here. They twist, they look very beautiful in their design as though they've been carved almost. The way they've grown, they overlap and symmetrical knots on either side and form beautiful patterns, and it's just the growth of the trees. But very, very interesting. Not boring old primey trees.
So is that an ent? The garbage disposal.
Oh,
That went off.
What was that? Yeah. Behind you in the forest appears the sink.
It's a dire garbage disposal.
Yeah, it's a mimic.
It's another
Oh, God,
Warforged.
no. A mimic.
As you progress through, you come across a small clearing that has a very modest homestead in the center of it that does in fact have a chimney on one edge of the house. And you hear a couple children playing behind the house. You don't see them, but you hear them playing. And a little clank and clatter of whatever game they're playing. And you hear someone chopping wood in the back, the opposite side of the house as well. Out of sight currently, but you hear
Is
that.
the house made of candy?
Yeah, I know. Thankfully.
Legitimate question.
So,
Are there any guards or anything like that? Any
Nope.
soldiers or anybody with weapons? And
Nope, it appears to be all forest except this home, and from what you can tell from here, just the sound of a couple kids and someone chopping some wood. But you don't spot anyone else or armor or weapons out.
Okay. I'm gonna put my bow down just a little bit and be like, I think a family lives here.
Do people take up residence in the Fae?
That
Apparently.
seems odd to me. Can I... Like, how close are we to this home?
I mean, you're out of sight in the woods still. It's probably 40, 50 feet away.
Can we... As we get closer... Are we getting closer? Well, if we get closer, I'm going to start looking around for traps. Because this is the Fae. I don't trust nothing.
Neat. Let me see what everyone
Especially
got.
magic stuff, because, you know.
History. So Kaylin and Ormia, with your history checks from earlier, you know the entire plane is populated. Absolutely. This is where you'll find, well, of course, Fey creatures. Things such as sprites, pixies, satyrs, the Eladrin, sylphs. A boatload of races live here. Sometimes there's travel between. There are certain locations that have little hubs basically for travel between the Prime and the Fae, for trade. It's fully populated just as the Prime is. There's towns, cities, kingdoms, and all that here.
Okay.
I am still checking for traps because I do not trust nothing.
Neat. Yeah, go ahead and roll a investigation check to see if you spot
Do
them.
I see what kind of creatures the kids are? Or how many kids are out there? Is it just one or is it
It
multiple?
sounds like more than one plane, but you can't see any of them yet. They're on the opposite. The sounds are coming from the opposite side of the house, the back of the
Okay.
house.
Is there any way to tell whether there's an illusion here?
That's a 9.
Ooh. What was that, Emil?
Is there any way to tell whether or not either the sounds or the house itself are illusions?
I could try an Arcana check.
You can do an investigation if you want. That's usually to see through, figure out whether or not anything's an illusion. Okay. You're not sensing any illusion here. You see some leaves float on the wind, and they strike other objects here. They don't float through. Your senses tell you it's real. Everything seems fine, Ormia. You're like, yeah, no.
Watch
What was I
me
thinking?
soar.
No traps.
Kayla's like,
Too
"Do
sad.
not?"
I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch me soar.
Oh no.
Too soon.
Always.
It's always too soon.
Okay, what would you
Should
guys?
we knock on the door?
Sure. Kaylin, you step out of the woods and walk up to the front of the house. You know.
Okay, here we go.
I'll keep a watch on her, but I don't really want to knock on the door.
Kind of
Okay.
But I'll keep an eye out.
peer around.
You hear a woman say, "Children, inside. Yes, coming." From the back of the house, and you see.
I turn around and give a thumbs up to everyone.
Nice. Felix would probably head up to you. I feel like he would probably be ready to be on guard and stuff. And Astrid would probably do the same. As at least the three of you stand there, from around the corner, you see a woman that has platinum blonde hair, stands about as tall as Emeracina, Ormia, somewhere around there, like an average human type height. The only thing that really stands out are her hooved feet and very tall antlers and fawn-like features.
Oh.
Astrid takes a half step back and kind of grows quiet. Yes. Oh, I wasn't expecting any visitors. Welcome,
hi.
though. What can I do for you? She's sort of looking wearily. Actually, she's going to scan the forest line here. She says that.
Thank you. You have a lovely home. A lovely house.
thank you. It was my mother's.
So you've been in this area a while, a long time?
Yes, I was born and raised over in Asheville, but recently moved out here for some peace. And she sort of looks around you at Astrid, gives her a nod.
Yes. We're adventurers in the area. We're looking for an elf, a male elf that might have wandered through here, and she kind of looks over at Ormia to kind of motions her to.
I know.
I'll sheathe my sword before walking up. Yes, we just came through a portal, and a few weeks ago, possibly, an elf would have walked by, escorted by a sprite and a satyr. Have you heard anything about that? And I'll describe Yeris.
Okay. I can't say that I have. We haven't seen visitors here in the whole. Been almost a year now since we moved back out here. You're the first. So, if anyone was traveling.
Right, it was a couple of weeks ago on our plane. Who could have? Yeah, okay.
If anyone was traveling inland, from inland, like you must be, they would likely be going to Asheville. It's the first town in the kingdom. Good place to stop and from the long trek through the woods and mountains.
And which way is Asheville?
Continuing west.
South? West? Okay.
Slightly southwest. Just follow the river. If you walk south about a half an hour from here, you'll encounter a strong flowing river. If you weren't already following that through the mountains. Okay. Continue to follow that river west, and you'll come across a bridge. Cross the bridge, and you can't miss Asheville. It's right on the other side of the river. You'll have to cross the bridge and backtrack a bit. But you must be tired after your travels through the forest.
Can I insight check her on the directions?
Sure. Through the forest and the mountains. We don't have too much, but I would encourage you to stay and eat.
What are you doing?
It literally sat on the 19 and went, eee!
I'm going to insight check as well. There's no water here. I'm suspicious.
Okay.
If that's okay. Slightly better, but not as good.
She seems to be genuine. No deception or anything.
Is it Asheville or Ashevale?
Ashevale.
Okay.
Is this your first time in Kohara?
Maybe.
I hope you find it to your liking. You must be good adventurers to make it through the mountains there and woods. Please come in. Rest your feet. They must be weary. Fill your bellies.
Sure, I trust you guys. I'm worried, but it's like, okay. Yeah, that's
Kaylin steps in.
I'll walk in with
Would
Kaylin.
it be a
just
separate insight check to see if she's giving us right directions, see if she wants to eat us while we're asleep?
Yeah, you can do an insight check to see if she seems to have any ulterior motives or anything like that.
Yeah, I will too. I don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
Emil is still stealthed and still outside and having none of this.
Nice. You can hear from you're still out completely out of sight and unnoticed, and you're close enough to kind of catch most of the conversation as it carries on the wind here. Let's see. All right, Ryman and M. Yeah, she seems to be honest.
I mean, she's got a whole bunch of kids, She can't be that bad.
Kaylin motions.
I'm just gonna stay outside.
Okay.
No, thank you.
I understand. You almost get the feeling that she is a little bit happy to have some company. Adult company.
Yeah, out of character. I understand that.
Completely 100% understand that.
Okay.
Kaylin shrugs and goes inside.
So make
She's
yourself
like,
at home. Children,
Kaylin's
be
hungry.
good. Nice. You step inside, and it is a fairly modest place. You see some small game that has prepared, likely for dinner, recently captured. A number of vegetables. You can peek out a little bit, through a couple back windows, Kaylin. You can see there's a garden back there, a wood chopping block stump, and seems to be pretty self-sufficient out here. The children inside are also Fawn. There's a little boy and a little girl. They're both, they look not like identical twins, but you can definitely tell they're siblings. They look to be about a year apart, which is sort of tough to tell. And they they sort of sniff you. They come up and they're just like, and who are you?
Kaylin's fascinated by them.
Neat.
And so she's kind of like a willing participant. She's like, okay, they can smell me. She's not offended by that. But she was, and she's like, my name's Kaylin. What's your name?
Oh, well,
Names.
one of them that's maybe just slightly tall. They both look around like they're 5 or 6, so they're pretty young. They both have the little tiny short antler nubs. And the girl says, well, my name's is Niha. And the boy kind of elbows her a bit. And my name's Nibel.
Nibel and Niha. Love. Oh, wow. Those are great names. What a strong name. What a strong name.
I'm the man of the house.
Oh, I bet.
And the
You
sister
look like-
knocks in.
yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
You have a lovely house.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. And they're a little bit shorter than you are still, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you doing here?
Me and my friends are adventuring. We're looking for someone.
There's more of you? And they
Yes.
just bolt past you towards the front door.
Oh, no. I need to go away.
Bye.
And they approach the front door, and what does everyone else do? I know, Emil, you're out. You're disengaged.
I was I walked inside with Kaylin, and I guess I was just kind of like looking around.
Okay.
Just curiously.
I also walked inside. Although, if there are kids around, well, no, I don't really have much in the way of performance. So, but I've never really experienced much in the way of children ever in my life. So, tiny people are very fascinating to me.
Nice. Okay.
So, I might follow them outside, see what they're up to.
All right. They bolt from Kaylin, and next they see Ormia sort of, looking around through the house. They're like, oh, hi, are you an Eladrin? Looking up at your facial features and stuff.
No. The distant descendants of one.
The boy's already knelt down, like, in reverence.
Oh, no. No, I'm not. Just an
Simon is
elf.
very amused.
Oh,
Just an elf.
Incredibly amused.
oh, you're so pretty.
Thank you.
Oh. And and they're like, the girl, pulls the boy's arm, come on, and they turn, and right there is Rhinwen, and they're just like awestruck by her appearance and her hair, just doing the floating thing that it does. Whoa! Your friends are really cool. They kind of yell back at Kaylin.
I know.
Oh, How does your hair do that? Can you do that to my hair? And they kind of lean their heads forward to you.
I go over to Kaylin and I pat her shoulder and I say, "You're really cool too."
Aw, thank you.
So, the first kid that does that, I create water in his hair, and then I animate the water.
Oh, nice. Is it doing it? It feels like it's doing it. He turns to his sister. And she's like, it's doing it! It's doing it! And they're all excited. And me, the girl says.
Yeah, I'll oblige them. I'll be like, listen, kids, where I come from, you don't need to animate the water to get your hair to do this. It's all water.
But how do you breathe and how do you pee?
Well, it all becomes part of the great circle of nature.
Whoa. We need to tell that to Mom because she gets really upset with us. This is so... let's go show Mom. Let's go show Mom. And they both hustle out past you and another... just sort of pushing each other as they're racing towards the front door.
Can that be a t-shirt?
Awesome. So they find their mother there. Em, what are you up to? Because you were...
Are they coming out the front door?
Yeah, they sort of burst out of the front door to see their mom.
Oh, okay. I figured their mom was back in the house, getting food or entertaining the guests. But since they've decided to bolt through the front door, I'm just gonna jump up and I'll try to kind of step out of the way and like try to avoid the kids if I can.
Nice. Sort of step back as they burst out, like trying to be out of sight.
I'm just like, oh, hey. Kind of surprised that they're just so fast and just
Nice.
darty. Makes me a little nervous.
Okay. They both rolled the same crap number, so they don't even see you. They're just so excited about this that they're talking to their mom and come on. Oh, Mom, you gotta come check this out. Look. And her hair does it already, and she did it for us. And then there's the other one that we thought was an Eladrin, and then another one that's just a little bigger than us, but she doesn't look like a kid. Come on, Mom, let's go.
I can't help but laugh hearing all of this, though. It's just too cute.
Felix just kind of, chuckles like, and walks in with the mom, and Astrid very quietly, walks in beyond them, sort of extra scanning about the house and such.
Kaylin's at the table eating something.
There's already some like snacky food, appetizer type stuff out there.
She's kind of doing it in a way kind of like she's really hungry, but she's trying to do it to where like maybe they won't notice that I've already started eating without the hostess being here. So she's like,
nice. There's a plate of like vegetables and fruits, some apple-like food, carrots and things like that. Nothing meaty out yet, but yeah, you start picking off at that plate. And the kids are all freaking out for a bit. The mom tries to calm them down as she's preparing some food. Just make yourselves at home, and continues cooking for maybe 20 minutes or so and gets a meal put together.
I'll go help her because it's rude to suddenly intrude on someone and not help them, especially if they cook us food. So
Felix is probably going to join you as well since he likes the culinary stuff too, and will probably want to help. So the three of you, she asked for help setting the table. They have these wooden plates that are clearly handmade. But they've seen a lot of wear, and they do the job. They're sturdy. And the table area is set up, which is essentially just this really large stump that was likely here before the cabin was built. That's been sealed with some type of material a long time ago, planed down and sealed to form this giant stump of a table. And food is done, and she strikes up a conversation as best she can. May I ask what your destination is? You mentioned you following some friends, or perhaps not.
Did she
friends?
tell us what her name was?
She hasn't. Not yet.
Okay. Well, when we, while we're cooking, I'm gonna ask her.
My name is Naisy.
Knees.
Naisy. And so, tell me, what brings you through this part here on the very edge of the Fey? You don't have too many travelers come through here.
Well, as I mentioned, we're here searching for a friend of mine, who came through, some time ago. I wish we knew how long. I wish there was a way to check out how long, but, so I guess we're really just wandering currently.
Well, there isn't much further to go. We're in the outer reaches here. I would say, I hope you all take extra care. If you haven't been here before to our kingdom, you should know that some time ago, about a year ago or so, we lost our king. He was assassinated in a coup. But those that participated in the coup were subdued, and it's left our kingdom with a bit of a power vacuum. And as we are a kingdom in the very far reaches of the Fae, the Evans Malin is taking its time to appoint a new ruler for our kingdom. And so it's a bit of a more dangerous place than usual without someone ruling. So be careful.
These insurgents, what do you know about them?
Just the news that traveled. They were part of the King's Guard, as well as some other political dissidents, and they conspired to overthrow the king. While the assassination was successful, those loyal to the king subdued them. It's just made for there are a number of towns and settlements here in Kohara, but it's created without someone to unite us and rule over the separate kingdoms. They're not particularly united. They'll trade and such, but as you know, anywhere here in the Feywild can be dangerous, and having allies and having those that will call to summons for aid is important. And those that seek to abuse power and such will certainly do so when there's no one to hold them accountable. So it's just a little more dangerous than usual.
I'd like to try to eavesdrop by a window if I can.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you can do... I don't think there's any roll for that. You can, I guess make a stealth check to see if you're, like, not noticeable. Oh, and anyone that speaks... is that Elven or Sylvan? I'm going to say Elven. I'm pretty sure it's Elvish. Arin's Malin means King's Circle.
Arin's Malin?
It's ARAN apostrophe S.
ARAN apostrophe S.
Mm-hmm. And then MALEN.
I was going to say, I speak Primordial, so
Ooh.
get out of luck there.
Arin's, what was the second word?
Malin, MALEN.
Okay, and what was that thing again?
King's Circle is what it meant.
King's Circle, King's Circle.
And Rhineman, if there's any place that speaking primordial will come in handy, it's probably going to be the Fae, so it might actually come in handy here at some point.
It's
Okay.
amazing that you have stayed safe out here by yourself.
Well, this was a place that we would retreat to with my parents a long time ago when I was but a child. And commune with nature, be one with nature. And she kind of looks over at Astrid. We're very adept at sensing danger and living in the wild, and it's a bit, it's almost a requirement to spend some time each year doing just that. I'll admit, and she kind of looks at her two kids, I do sometimes long for adult conversation. But the town where we were living, something strange was afoot. I sensed a great danger there, and sometimes that happens. And again, she kind of looks at Astrid, as we're particularly attuned to sensing these threats. But it was happening day after day after day. And I brought it to the magistrate and the lead council of Fiend. But they insisted that I was simply overreacting. What could I know, after all? My husband had recently passed, and they felt it was simply that. Simply my emotions getting the better of me. They would not listen, and I would not let my children come to harm by remaining there. So we moved up here about a year ago, and we're taking some time to regroup and hoping to wait out a new ruler being placed here and having a little more stability in the land before settling back in. And Astrid asks, finally, she speaks up a bit, almost making a little bit of eye contact, but almost focused on her food instead of like looking up. Yes, I thought that here in the Fae, folks like us were able to live amongst everyone else in civilization, but are you saying we're still not treated equally here? The stories I was told as a child all lies? To which the mother replies, "Oh, no, dear, no. That is the case, very much. But as I said, circumstances led me to move up here. You are not from the Feywild?" I don't know. I wish it's here. I got some info from her about what she was going to say and do. And she says, well, I'm not. Just, that's me. These lovely folks are letting me travel with them. But I heard stories growing up, and I'm glad to hear that it's not the same as it is on the Prime. There we're hunted, and it's difficult to make a living, to stay alive. And you see her sort of go into, make a face that you haven't really seen her make before, where there's a little bit of pain in her face. Let's see. She was going to ask something else. Nope, I guess that's it. And then there's just an awkward pause after that.
In which I slip and fall on my butt outside the window.
Oh, yeah. I totally missed it. What'd you get?
Yeah.
Ooh, 3! Yeah, you were standing, like the windows are just a little bit high in this building compared to other... No, I guess not, because Kaylin could see through. Yeah, you were just sort of leaning outside, and just that, there's some mud along the side of the building as you're sort of leaning forward to stay out of sight, and slip. You hear the clank and such of a bow and a staff outside the window.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
They jump up and the kids spin around with their hair still floating in their water bubbles. What was that?
I'll stand and just look out the window.
Hi.
Hi, you okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay. Sorry.
You want some food?
Sure.
Okay.
It's just another one of our friends. It's okay.
Yes, you
don't want to come in at all?
No, just leave some out on the porch for me, please.
Okay, I'll pass it through the window.
She's
okay.
a bit of an introvert.
Thank you.
The mother's looking
Make
like
a plate,
like,
just pass
She
it.
doesn't like being inside. really not with
It's
the
okay.
inside.
It's okay.
she's just like
She's a little strange. It's okay. It's alright.
you can't tell if she's
You're like a
appalled.
Smeagol.
Go eat the fish.
Yes. So
We've had a long journey, so yeah.
I understand.
But thank you for sharing your story with us.
Certainly. Well,
And this coup, did that happen at this town, the Ashvale, that you told us about?
No, that happened in Tosa.
In Tosa.
Essentially the capital out in the desert to the west further.
And is Ashvale a big city?
No, it's
That's
medium-
me asking because you told us about it, or she told us about it already, and I can't remember, even though it was 10 minutes ago.
She sort of mentioned its location. She says it's a medium-sized town, I suppose. She kind of looks around for a minute. Nivelle, you drew that map the other day, didn't you? Where is that? I do have a map for you, but my child drew it, so it may not be the best, most accurate map, but I think it'll treat you well here. And Nivelle says, yeah, Mom, I'll get it, and runs up his hair, sploosh, 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 as he runs around, and then he shares a map out with you. Oh my gosh, this map is huge too. Come on, cut it out.
Cut it out.
All right, preload that for a minute. Go here, and then I will share this out. The square map, so if that makes any difference here. And when resizing.
When I give the plate of food, I'm gonna look around for Emil. Like,
Oh yeah.
he should eat too.
Yeah.
You can make a perception check if you want, but
this is not gonna go well.
what did he get? A 21? Yeah.
Let's 21. I basically need a natural 20. Yeah, it did it again. Where it hovered on the 17 and then went to the 3.
Just leave it on the
Curses.
porch.
I'll just kind of call it like, "Hey, Emil,
Just gotta sit it down on the steps.
Got some food if you want some."
You
Okay, bye.
you hear that, Emil, and chuckle a little bit at their attempt dispatching. But you do see, her come out and put some food down outside. But it's close to the house, so you're aware of it. All right.
Seb's probably aware of it.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Stab.
do I see Seb?
I think Seb would probably fly down and inspect it.
Aw.
Okay.
Like we just made this. If you want to, can you? I don't know if you can understand me. Why am I talking to a bird? I've lost
kind
it.
of looking at you like
Yeah, I don't know.
inspects the food.
This is for a meal. I'll just kind of hit my head on the door frame and go back inside.
That's fantastic. Seb inspects it and flies in a totally different direction into the woods, at which point he then goes to you, Emil, just to throw off any would-be trackers. And communicates as best he can that it looks okay. So here's
so
the
where
map.
on this map are we?
Oh, yeah.
Now
You were probably just about to answer that.
Yeah, I just have to jump to my other fantasy grounds. This is my first attempt at actually drawing a map myself, like with.
It looks lovely, Dan.
Oh, thanks.
You did such a good job.
I like the dragon in the water.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's one of Nivel's personal touches there. It's not gonna let me change the color of the pencil. Okay, so in Ash, you see the area for Ashvale, which is in the northeast of the map here.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Thanks. If you follow that, come on, woo! Did I get it?
There you go.
Yes. If you follow the river back east a little bit, where that first big dip is, you're just a little bit north of the river there. If that was a V, you'd be at the top of the check mark, at the top of the V to the east.
Oh, okay. By the dock?
No. Ashvale's in the northeast, and even further northeast than that, if you follow the river back eastward, the other way, back into the woods.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I wish this would actually let me. Here, I'll darken it. If I keep drawing, it makes it dark enough. It should pop in soon. Hopefully, that's a rough idea. Watch for the trees to get slightly darker.
Oh, there it is. It just took a while to show
Okay,
up.
good. That is roughly where you guys are. She points out, you're roughly here. Probably but a 10-hour walk or so to, maybe less, maybe 8 hours to Ashvale from here. Follow the river.
Well, it's not too bad. What time of day is it now?
It's
Like
morning,
looking
and
outside,
actually,
it's morning.
that's totally inaccurate. Hang on a sec, because that's double time now. This is 1 day, 2 days, so quarter of a day. So you're looking at. Oh my gosh! Come on, camera! I keep looking at the map and the other screen. I guess I should stop doing that. One, that's 2 days from there. Anyway, it's about 6 hours from here to Ashvale. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's even better.
That's not too bad.
Not by all.
Oh, I'm outside.
I'm assuming you're just kind of like sitting under the window eating and just still listening.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
How weirdo.
You just like hand the plate up, I'll fill it back and hand it back down.
Nice. The mom's still like, every time she sees it. Yes, well, if you need to rest, please do so. And again, please do be careful. And she. Okay.
Lady Macy, may I ask what happened to your husband?
Yes. The Feywild is a dangerous place, and around the time that the king was assassinated, there was a sharp uptick in criminal activity. He was getting us some provisions from Econ, and was robbed and murdered on his return trip.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
You've kept your home up wonderfully, and your kids seem to be doing very well.
They're adorable.
Thank you.
Remind me of my brothers a bit.
Well, she stands up and starts taking the plates. I hope you found dinner satisfactory.
It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I just need to get these cleaned off. And takes them and walks out to the kitchen to start cleaning up. I'm going to say Astrid does a quickly grabs a couple of the other dishes and scoots over to the kitchen to try and catch her for a moment by herself. And she asks, without too much hope in her voice, she asks, have you, I know this is a long shot, but I should have asked her if she wanted me to ask this out loud or not.
Roleplay it through later with her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, she didn't say one way or the other. Anyway, you guys, I don't have to worry about you being meta anyway, so I don't think it's a deal. And you might already know about some of it anyway. So, I know that I wish I could do Beth's accent because it's so cool, but I tried it for like 30 minutes or I'm like, I can't. This is terrible. She'll be like, what? That's how you hear me? So anyway, Astrid, asks, this is a long shot, I know, but have you encountered any other Fae from any other fawns from the prime material plane in the past couple decades or so? Yeah. Lost some that were close to me, and I don't know their whereabouts, but I thought first time I've seen another fawn and since I was very young, and it's a hope beyond hope. At which point she very tenderly puts her arm up in a very matronly manner and kind of rests it on the back of Astrid's shoulder, and looks at her intently and says, well, I'm sorry, I haven't, my dear. Astrid, sort of shrugs it off like, it was a long shot, I know, it wasn't, but Nazy interrupts her briefly, but we are taught from a young age that if we are ever travel to the Prime or trapped on the Prime and in trouble, we are to seek out Dawn. Are you familiar? And just to skip over a bit of the role-playing with myself, Beth says, no, and she says, well, it's a village. I don't know the actual location. It's meant to be a safe haven for our kind. Should we be trapped over there, we're very aware of how we're treated and hunted and such. If you're not familiar with the village, I would say perhaps ask around. If anyone's seeking refuge, they would likely try and get there if they're familiar with it. And Astrid sort of files it away, maybe feeling a little silly for having asked in the first place, and responding to that with sort of in a defense mechanism way, like, well, yes, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. It was, a silly thing to ask. I know, but thank you for the meal and lovely home, lovely children. Thank you. And excuses herself, or doesn't. She just turns and walks away. And I think that's the last of everything I talked with Beth about. So Nazy finishes cleaning, and
Your
is
food
reaching
was
that
delicious. Coming from the window.
Nice. Thank you. Goes back to scrubbing. And it's reaching sort of that awkward point where, there isn't much else to be said, and you've eaten, and she doesn't want to kick you out,
Right.
But she also doesn't want to...
we're helping her with the dishes, just kind of like bring them in, like scrub them up a little bit, like, I've done this before, I know how to do this, it's the polite thing to do when you're not with other nobles, so that's what you do.
Awesome.
I'll hand the dishes to people so people who can reach the sink. Well.
Awesome. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Last of the plate and cups. Yeah, so you guys are essentially wrapping up, unless, let you guys take it away if you want to bounce or if you have any other questions. Otherwise, it's sort of that awkward point where it's probably pretty much time to leave.
What time is it? Is it evening or?
It's still morning. It's probably only maybe 8 o'clock in the morning or so. It's pretty early.
I'd like to bounce.
I would like to go up to Maisie before we leave, and so I understand that you're out here by yourself. Is there anything that you need us to look out for you, or to pick up for you, and if we come back here?
You're so kind. We're fairly self-sufficient here. I think we'll be all set. I'd ask perhaps not to talk too much about your visit here.
Sure.
It's always a risk taking folks in. You look kind-hearted, but we are looking for some peace out here until we feel comfortable moving back to civilization, as it were.
Absolutely. I was raised on the outskirts myself, and I understand. So I hope that you're able to return to the others soon. That you're able to return to village life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything we can do for you in exchange for your kindness?
I wouldn't say no if you wanted to chop the rest of our firewood. She says jokingly.
How do you protect yourself out here? If I may ask.
No, she kind of looks up at the window. No,
Em's not there, it's just a speech bubble.
Yeah, she talks to the empty window from across the house.
Why do I keep forgetting that I'm outside the window?
Well,
because
we
it's hilarious.
sort of have a nose for it, and we're not, we're stronger than we look. And Nival is still coming into his own, but Niha's very adept at defending herself for her age, and the axe isn't only for cutting wood, but it's a fairly remote location, and it's been here for quite a long time, since my mother's time. So we're fairly safe here, and we manage. She waits awkwardly for a response from the empty window, and then
I say, okay, like you are teaching them well.
thank you.
Well, bye.
I think I'm gonna move away from the window now.
All right.
Move towards the front.
Okay.
I guess Kaylin's ready to leave.
Well, I bid you all a safe journey, and
Am I the only one that feels like Felix would chop wood for a couple of minutes?
yeah, he's probably already heading out the door. Thank you, ma'am, and steps out, and it's only
Like
20
Felix would
seconds
do it,
before
and
you
Ash
hear
would
chink.
go like punch the wood.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like Felix would probably chop wood.
Nice. You hear that the axe swinging down. Oh, thank you. Thank you. He kind of looks at the other window that Em's in.
The strangest
Thank you.
visitors she's ever had.
Um,
Well, thank you again for your hospitality.
Absolutely my pleasure. I hope you find the same in the rest of your travels here.
Thank you.
And she gives everyone like a hearty handshake as they leave. Felix chops. Actually, I'll just use this nice. Okay. Yeah, he chops like a
Why do I
cord
feel
of
like
wood.
she's also the nicest person that we're gonna meet here?
Nice.
Little hesitant to go. Kind of like, oh, well, I guess.
Well, after this, it's all like doom wolves and vampires. So
Nice. Okay, and so you all say goodbye. Felix is chopped like a cord of wood, and Astrid sort of, leaves with a little She's almost back to her normal self and gives a hearty handshake to Nazy as well and a head nod. And the children are waving in the wind out, bye, bye. And as you as you get out of, I think it's a range spell, right? The create water. So as you walk away, swoosh, they just get drenched in the water that releases. And they kind of laugh and giggle at each other and pointing at each other. And you guys are on the road to Ashvale. Again, her directions were go south about 30 minutes. You'll run into river, and then just follow it west, which you can kind of see on the map now. And we'll take our break here for the travel portion. Let me just make a... Oh, yeah. Okay. You guys are fine. And we'll take our break there. And...
We're fine for now.
Yeah. For those who don't know, we take a
roll. Okay, you guys are fine. You're fine.
Yeah, roll. We take like a 5 to 8 minute break just to do bio stuff and get fresh coffee, or that's what I do it for. So we'll see you all in about 5 to 8 minutes. We'll still be streaming. We're just gonna put some mutes up and other stuff. So catch you in a couple minutes. Yay. All right. Oops, I've got to. Ooh, got almost the whole top row down. No. But now we can see the picture in the back of the layout better. So silver
Yes,
linings.
we have a problem. Kaylin and Ormia are twins.
Oh my gosh! Oh, right. I've got to fix her back. Thank you.
How is this a problem?
Awesome. Yeah.
It's the Fae. The Fae
All the
changes
same.
everything.
Yeah. You look around and you look alike.
We really are best friends now.
One of me.
Kaylin
No,
takes a
that's
step
not
away.
it. Awesome. All right. So, how do you want to do this? Sure. I'm just catching that now. Warren, that's awesome. Sweet. And Melissa, do you have any fun shirts on? I didn't even ask at the top of the episode.
Yeah. Firefly.
Nice. Love it. Cool. All right. So where
And
were we?
Nev, if you're in chat still, I've got ramen noodles again.
Ooh, yummy. I haven't had those in ages, and I just made a bowl sometime this past week, whatever day it was. I was looking around for a snack or something to eat, and it was like the day before shopping, and I'm like, what's going on? I need to make something. And I saw like 2 jammed in the side there from ages ago. Okay, try it.
Does the trick.
All right, so currently, as you head back into the forest, Emil catches up with you. Is anyone filling Emil in on anything that he didn't overhear already?
Yeah, Kaylin
Did
will.
you get that food we sent out to you?
Yeah, we shared it. Thank you.
Yeah, Kaylin's trying to explain it to him, but not doing a very good job. There are people, and they overthrew the government, and, there's this one group, that's the King's Circle, but she said it in Elvish, so if you were there, you wouldn't have understood it, maybe. I don't know. Her name was Macy. She had 2 kids that were there as well. Her husband died a few years ago, and blah, 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 blah.
Nice.
Wait, what's your charisma again? 8. This is perfect.
You get about a third of it. You get the gist, Emil. You're like, yeah, all right. Heading to some town. Trouble
It was
with the
really
government.
nice, and she gave us a lot of food. The food was really good. I hope you got some of that, and and we tried to give you some, and then Emersina was speaking to her through the window, and yeah.
Did we find the person we're looking for?
Well,
No. They were too busy stuffing their faces.
but
We
we
should've
got a
searched
really
the
good
house.
lead. We got a really good lead.
Nice.
She gave us a kids map. We're following a kids map, and then she just walks off.
Nice. Clunk, 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 and the heavy armor sort of just picks up pace ahead of you. I love that. That's fantastic. It takes about, as you follow the river, you can see the town of Ashvale across the river. A little too wide to wade across unless you really want to. That's fine, and we can roll stuff for that. Otherwise,
Are we at the town already?
yeah, you didn't encounter anything through the forest on your way
That's
through.
convenient. I've been like there, like searching around, like kind of like paranoid, like something's gonna jump us.
Nice. There's a bridge right there that you can cross. Maybe 30 minutes extra walk down the river. As you see, there's even from across the river. There's the forest on the other side clears and there's a lot of farms that seem to dot the outer reaches of the town of Ashvale. You cross the bridge and have to backtrack a little bit to go through. There's no wall or gate or anything like that. It really is like a medium-sized town. It seems to be fairly quiet. Looks to be fairly self-sufficient with all the farmland surrounding it. You're on the edge of the town. What do you want to do?
I'm just so there's like no guards or anything.
You don't see currently any guards standing out.
Can I just do a perception check to just see like the sort of people that are just walking around and in and out? Because it's like what, getting close to dinner time, so people should be like returning from work or something. Should be fairly busy.
It's about 8, so it's about 2 in the afternoon now.
Oh. So it's the middle of the day, so it should still be fairly busy, right?
Yeah, you can't see, all the way into town. It's big enough that it has a town center, and it'd probably take, to walk from one end of this town to the other, would probably take a good 25 minutes or so.
Okay. That's a 21 perception.
Oh, okay. You do see a person, a couple people working on their farms as you navigated the rough, trampled out road off of the main road to the edge of the town. And as you're on the very edge of town, it looks like there's some people walking the streets, but not too many. It seems to be fairly quiet from here.
It's very quiet. A little too quiet.
Dun dun dun.
I mean, you are on the very edge of the town. It's not all really compact. So there's, some houses. It goes from just farms sort of dotting the landscape to house here, house there, and it slowly, as you get to the very edge of town here, finally starts grouping up.
With that perception check, would I be able to tell, like, here if there's more activity further into the town?
Yeah, it sounds like there's a little more bustle towards maybe the center of town is your best guess.
All right. Well, I'll start heading in. I'm just gonna also keep a hand just carefully on my rapier.
Okay.
So just like, not like to look intimidating, just to be prepared.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna keep an eye out for any sort of sprite or satyr or someone who could potentially be Yeris.
Okay. Make just a general perception check for that, if you would. Is everyone?
Here comes the one, because it matters.
Is everyone following her?
7.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Yeah, I'm following.
I think Felix and Rhinwen and Astrid probably follow you as well. How do you think Emil would approach entering the town?
I mean, not quite stealth, but trying to avoid detection. And maybe like a little bit apart, trying to, shadow them, but not be overly seen or overt.
Pull up your cloak and sort of try and blend in with the population. Actually, you probably wouldn't pull up your cloak for that because here it's a bunch of farmers and folks of just people with farm builds wearing clothes for utility and not for fashion. But you kind of rearrange some of your stuff to look as close to that as possible. You've got your disguise kit, so on the run you can shuffle it to look. I guess make a stealth check if you want to just try and blend in and not be noticed.
Sure.
Yeah, Ormia, you don't see Oh, that stealth proficiency, the expertise is so helpful. Ormia, you don't. You're keeping an eye peeled, as you said. You don't see any satyrs, any pixies or sprites, and not too
Because
many
we're
elves here
not.
either. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I mean, you do a pretty solid job of, given the clothing you have, blending in.
So what are the? I'm sorry, I was off camera for a couple of seconds. What are the types of people that we're seeing?
You see, there's a number of gnomes here.
Okay.
You haven't seen any humans yet. You see a number of half-elves. It's heavily populated with half-elves, a few dwarves, and that's essentially it so far. You haven't seen too many people yet. It doesn't really get busy until you all make your way to about the town square, the center of town.
Okay.
This seems to be the place that's bustling. It has a lot of people selling their wares, their goods rather, food and tanned hides and other things just required to live out here. Nothing too exotic. It really is all stuff based in utility. Very few things out there for comfort or fashion. In the very center of the town square, there's this magnificent stone structure. It seems to pump water out from its apex, and then it directs it down through many rocky ramps, creating small foot-tall waterfalls every so often, before pooling into a large base of the structure. Never seems to overflow or anything. It just it looks peaceful and interesting, and the water is amazingly clear and clean. Townsfolk don't, seem to pay too much mind. Some of the kids are over there splashing and reaching their hands in and playing. But it's something out of the ordinary for you guys.
I guess seeing it and being interested with stoneworks, and I'm a dwarf, and can I pull someone is there someone near that I can pull aside and just, ask them how long it's been there?
Sure. There's a teenage half-elf that's sort of close to you as you're examining it.
Sure.
Yep. Okay, that's the first person you see. You want to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, excuse me.
Yes?
Hi. Could you tell me how long that fountain has been in the center of the square?
Yeah. Well, it's been there since, I think maybe my grandparents' time.
Oh. Wow. So it's old.
Yeah. I guess I don't think about it that often because it's, always been there.
Right. Is I noticed the water is so clean. It's so clear.
Yeah, it's some sort of magical spring.
Oh, it's magical.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Have you lived here your whole life?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. May I ask what you're busying yourself with here?
Sorry, what's that?
What are you busying yourself with? Are you
just
working, or?
my chores, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
He's sort of looking around at. Actually, he just probably sees you. Sure thing, ma'am. And he kind of looks around at the party.
Sure.
Seeing you as someone he's not used to seeing, kind of scans. Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you.
He kind of trips and stumbles as he turns to walk away a little bit.
Are you?
Still very
are you okay?
awkward and lanky. Oh, he looks mortified that you saw that and asked him. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're doing a great job. Great job.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Picks up his pace.
New favorite NPC.
Just embarrassed, yeah.
well, that fountain's really interesting, guys. They said it could be magical. Can I do an arcane?
Sure.
An arcane check on it?
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's a fountain. Like, how interesting can that be?
I'm interested in it.
So if he's giving us weird looks, can I look around to see if anyone else is just kind of looking at us too long, more than like, oh, these people are not from around here, haven't seen them.
Sure.
Who are they? If someone's looking around like, what? Perception?
Yeah, perception check.
I got a 21 in my Arcana.
Oh, nice. There's definitely magic emanating from the spring. You feel that there's some natural force tied into it as well, but there's something magic about the engineering behind it.
Okay. Alright. Scary and hopeful. Great.
Ooh,
Are there
don't notice
any,
anything, Ormia.
Are there any, sometimes some cities or towns will have, like, plaques or something in front of old stuff like that. So is there a plaque or anything in front of the fountain that might say who made it?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Ooh.
16. All right, you take a minute and look around the base of this structure to see if you can find such a thing. And you do, around the opposite side of where you walked in. It's a fountain dedicated to Jandric Bellhorn. I guess you probably wouldn't know what type of name that is race-wise, but who found a solution for clean water in a time of drought, and essentially saved this town from complete disaster by using it doesn't really go into much beyond that, but you get the idea that he somehow incorporated magic with a natural spring to create this ever-flowing clean water.
Okay, now this fountain is a little bit fascinating.
I agree. Yeah, good fountain.
I think we lost Sam.
Yeah.
Is there any particular building or people, anything you want to be on the lookout for here or pursue?
Well,
I'm gonna look for some food. I'm hungry.
Okay. It's pretty easy to spot local tavern of sorts. It looks like it's actually designed for food, almost more restaurant than tavern, but there is alcohol there as well. Just seems to be the one on this section of town that you've been through so far.
I think Emil's just going to try and make sure that his friends don't get their pockets picked or kind of singled out.
Actually, go ahead and make a perception check, Emil, if you would. Oh, okay. You'll have to re-roll if you would, because it was an even roll. Hang on, let me turn off Sam's cam here. Double
oh
up.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, they got a 2. Okay, you spot one of the children, a number of children that are sort of running around through the streets, hustle and bustle, and every so often they run by you guys until at one point you see one of them run and bump into Kaylin, and reach for a purse section of her backpack. You can see some coin bulge there, and then you see them reaching in for that.
I think. Well, it's the child thing. Okay, I think I'm just going to grab their hand and kind of kneel down and go, and then shush them and run and let them go.
Sorry, it was just an accident.
Just an accident.
I'll go.
Just let them go.
They bolt. And you notice the kids stop running around you as a whole. You all approach. Kaylin, I guess roll a perception to see if you noticed any of that, Kaylin.
Sam's ready.
Oh, thank you.
back
All right,
in.
let me give her those names.
Perception. No,
You are so oblivious.
I'm just
6. Oh my gosh.
I'm
Yep.
still looking at this amazing fountain.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, Sam. All right, let me get your camera.
Sorry
back.
about that. My internet exploded. Don't know what happened.
No problem.
I guess. I guess we should probably ask around if anyone's maybe seen Ormia's brother come through.
Teacher. He's my teacher.
Oh, teacher. Yes, your teacher.
Well, if you're asking out in the streets, if they've seen any elven folks come through, and just give a description as best you know. Most people are sort of short with you. They're there to do work or to sell their stuff, and you get a lot of I don't know. I don't have time to look at everyone that comes through here, or just they don't answer or just walk away. You do approach this restaurant/tavern, and you see there's a number of town folks that seem to be resting and eating in here late lunch. You get the feeling like maybe you'll have better results in here. It looks like that type of environment. I guess make an investigation check, Kaylin, in here as you talk to people.
I'm gonna do that too.
Okay.
So I've also been asking around.
I'm just gonna go get a sandwich. Ask how much their sandwich is.
Okay. Nice, Em. You get those, you get your stuff ordered, and you sit down, whatever I need to eat, so you all can join me if you want.
I'm investigating really hard over here.
You are. It's
really
an elf, and, they're, some height, and they might have had a sword. Yeah. Nice. You just don't give it. Ormia, you are asking a patron of this restaurant that gets really uppity at first, talking about he seems to know that you're from the Prime. It's I can't escape you, Primies. The hell are you doing in our town?
Just trying to find someone, and then we'll leave as quickly as possible.
Heard that 1,000,000 times.
I don't like it here, so I want to find my friend and leave. You want to help me get out?
I don't want to help you at all. He just stands up, pushes his chair back, tosses some coins on the table, and goes to walk out. Then you hear a
Can
voice.
I insight check him to see why? Is it just because I'm from the Prime Material Plane?
That's the gist.
Or
you get,
is there? There's nothing deeper.
You can insight and see.
Gotta stick up his butt.
Yeah. Why does he have to stick up his butt?
Yeah, it seems to be just a general disdain for those of the prime variety. Like he's had a lot of bad experiences, maybe, or maybe he's
Plainism.
Yeah. But you do hear a voice come from the very small bar area in this restaurant that's just a few feet away from where you're standing. I might know something. An elf, you say? And you turn around, you see a very small figure, gnome, male. Very patchy black hair, messy, middle-aged in appearance, whatever middle age is for gnomes. I think it's like 250 years. I might know that chap you're looking for. But listen, I've sort of fallen on hard times here, and I'd be happy to trade that information for some,
Information first, and then you get coin.
Well, how much coin are we talking about here? Because it sounds like it's important information for you.
Depends on how useful the information is.
Well, I'll tell you this much, and if you think my information is good, well, then you pay, and I'll tell you the rest.
I'll sit by him and just kind of like sit and like lean over him, just like.
Okay, nice.
I can squash it, dude.
You lean over in the bar. There's a strong smell of alcohol that's spilled there throughout the day, and looks like a little kid sitting on his bar stool, but it props him up, kind of close to you as he's sitting. Listen, I saw an elf come through here a while back with. Did you already mention in your questioning? Did either of you already mention the satyr and the pixie sprite?
No, I just would have described him first, and then if anyone saw him, like, seemed to recall that, be like, was he with these people? Because it's like, if he was, then that's worth further pursuing.
Okay.
Also, I don't want to get cheaped out of people being like, oh yeah, I totally saw that,
Yeah, we don't see too many elves around here, and I think I might have seen one come through a few weeks back. Had a sword with him, and yeah.
Can you describe this sword?
Memory's a little fuzzy.
I pull out 2 gold pieces and I just rub them together. Can you describe this sword?
Yeah, sure. Maybe looked like that one at your waist. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Something like that sword you're carrying on your waist there.
Was this elf with anyone? Did he say that already?
No, he hasn't. No. I think, maybe it was with someone. I think maybe someone else. Yeah.
I'll pull out 2 more gold pieces, just kind of like play with them in my hands.
Nice.
Who else?
Oh, I just, what did they look like? I can't remember. Is it, and he's kind of looking at you to gauge, like, to see if you're going to give him any hints. Yeah, maybe it was, like a dwarf,
Stone face.
Nice. I can't remember. But there was definitely an elf here, and there aren't really many elves here.
I'm gonna finish my food while they're doing that, and how far away am I from them?
Just a couple tables away, probably, if that. So maybe 10, 15 feet.
Okay.
Can I insight check him to see if he's just totally making this up to get my coin?
Mm-hmm.
While she's doing that, I'm just gonna stand up from the table and then kind of walk towards them, but still looking around the room.
Okay. A 9. Well, he's got to roll. He seems to be like a stand-up, maybe he just can't remember. Doesn't seem to be pulling your chain. Yeah. Well, it just jogged my memory. Who was he traveling with, and
2 companions.
what did they look like?
I'm actually not sure.
Oh.
I was hoping you could tell me. But if not, then a good day to you, friend.
Well, I think maybe he went to, maybe I think that elf left and said something about, going to, Econ. Yeah. Something about Econ. Mm-hmm.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah.
With one of my real dice? I want to
Sorries.
use a real die. These ones are killing me. Okay,
Hey,
that's
nice.
better.
Okay, he definitely seems to be trying to scam you out of some money. Like, you do get the feeling that he saw an elf, but you feel like the rest is almost like he's feeling you out for some information. There's something important about who he was with to him that he's dancing around.
So, like, he's withholding something, or he's just making it all up?
You get the feeling that he genuinely saw an elf, but before he gives you any more information, he's trying to suss out who he was traveling with. Like, that's an important piece of information in his decision.
So he's seen an elf could or could not be Yeris.
Mm-hmm. And now he's just throwing you this, because if he doesn't, without that information, you get the feeling like he doesn't want to answer truthfully.
I'll reach into my pouch, and I'll pull out a copper, and I'll put it on the counter in front of him, say, "Thank you for your time," and I'll leave.
Well, wait. It wasn't a satyr, was it?
I stop.
I mean, it wasn't, a satyr or a pixie, right? I mean, because maybe I saw that. Does that sound right?
I'll sit back down.
Okay. He takes the copper before, as you walk over, puts it in his pocket.
I put my gold back, by the way.
Ah, okay. Nice.
In my pouch. No more games.
Oh.
You tell me what you know, and you will get corn. You don't tell me what you know, you will get something much less pleasant.
Kind of looks up, at everyone else nearby, and kind of, well, not everyone else. He sees you, and I guess maybe M as someone that's not regular part of the town. Kate, whoever else came in.
Yeah.
That's close enough. It sounds like maybe I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, satyr and pixie.
Just kind of drumming my fingers on the hilt of my sword.
Okay. I'll tell you what I know. You pay me the rest, and I'll tell you where I saw them go. I know a place where they frequent.
I'm gonna take a leap of faith and pretend like you know what you're doing, and I'll give him 2 gold.
Thank you.
And if your information turns out to be wrong, I will come back, and you will not be happy about it.
Sure. Oh no, it's right. Yeah. So there's a little bit
You've
outside.
already lied to me once in this conversation.
Oh, I had to. I gotta protect myself too. Feel you out a little bit. See,
I don't like that.
All right. Well, listen. There's a cottage, an old cottage. It's hasn't been used in a long time, but they use it. The 2 of them. They have some sort of dealings they do out there, and they often stay out there just outside of town. They seem like a little bit of trouble, so I don't usually pay much mind, but in my work and travels around the town here, I've come across that and seen them there a number of occasions. I don't stay long. Come right back to town, but they had an elf with them with a sword just like that. So rather fancy fella. Not an Eladrin by the looks of it, but we really never see elves around here. So it stuck out, stuck in my head there. I can show you, or I can tell you at least where the cottage is. I can, and it doesn't have anything. I mean, what do? They don't have pens and napkins. I mean, you got anything I can write on? I mean, it's about a 30-minute walk.
I'll pull out some parchment and quill, and I'll set 2 more gold on the counter, but I won't take my fingers off it.
Okay.
And just tell me everything you know about these 2.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. He starts etching out a little rough map. X marks a spot. Little dot from the town. About 30 minutes southwest of the town here. I'm sorry, northeast of the town. Back up towards the river, but northeast. And just tells you. And I don't have any personal dealings with them. Again, they seem sort of, like trouble. But I know that the satyr's name is Zeke. A nasty fella, nasty temper. Really flies off the handle, and really don't, want to play any cards with him or do any betting or just get in his bad side in general. Just bad temper all the time. That's Zeke. And a sprite, her name is Vel. And she's always with him. Never see the 2 of them apart. They only come into town to get provisions usually, maybe a drink. Zeke, he likes to drink and cause a lot of trouble. Belle just seems to pay that no mind, and I don't really know what her story is, but she...
Did you say Vale or Vel?
Vel, it's V-E-L-L-E.
V-E, okay, I completely...
And Zeke is Z-H-I-K, because fantasy names.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're there right now. The last time I saw them there was, maybe, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Insight check everything.
Okay.
1 more.
Yeah.
Here comes the 1. Oh, okay, not bad.
That's not bad.
Could be worse.
Yeah, he seems to be being truthful about seeing them within the past, within about a week or 2.
I'm just kind of like insight checking whole everything he's telling me.
Yeah, it seems to be, I guess I don't really have to roll on this, but...
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, he's seen them here within the past week or 2, and he does know that they frequent that place. He seems to be, telling you the truth.
Okay. All right.
And he reaches, slowly puts his hand over onto the other coins now that his map is finished.
I still have my fingers on them.
He puts his fingers, next to yours on it.
I'm just watching this like a tennis match.
Nice, Warren. Will they, won't they? That's everything I know. And I'm taking a risk telling you anyway, because like I said, nasty temper on the satyr, and really, the information's worth a little more than this, because it's my own life and limb.
I'm sure. Well, it's your own life and limb if this information is wrong. And I'll pull out 2 more gold, so I've given him 6 total, and I'll slide it over.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. And
then I'll stand and leave. I don't care about what he's saying next. I'm going.
Grabs the gold and pockets it.
I follow Ormia.
Turns and orders some drinks and puts the gold down. Open a tab. And puts it.
So that was 6 gold. I can math here.
All right. So you all see Ormia.
And she's just like beelining for the door, just like elf on a mission, just gone. Like, not like running, but just heaven help anyone who gets in her way.
Nice. Awesome. You check some shoulders on your way through as people are bustling in and not really caring about being polite and stepping aside. And you just
Which is really weird for Ormia.
Yeah. Awesome. So anyone that was in the vicinity there heard that and is eaten. Anyone that wanted to eat. And you all see Ormia finish the conversation, turn, and start walking out the door.
Keeping up with her. I motion for Emersina. She's done.
Yeah, I'll be there in a second, and I'll turn towards the gnome, and as he's getting his drink or drinks or whatever he ordered, I'll be like, "Who do you pray to?"
Who do I don't have no one, I guess.
May no one help you if you are wrong.
So sort of slouches down, like, oh.
And I turn around and walk out.
He turns over to waves to the bartender, like, "Get my drink!"
Like, draw. Nice.
Awesome. Okay, so you all end up leaving the restaurant/tavern, and the map, again, it's about a 30-minute walk outside of town. Sounds like Ormia is just making a beeline for that location, right?
She's going, and once she gets like out of town and like towards the woods, she's gonna start stealthing.
Okay. Anyone that wants to make a stealth check, go ahead and roll stealth as you leave the farmland, cross back into the woods.
That hovered on the 2.
Oh, there's the meal.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Oh, right. So I
All
have
right.
to do... oh, let's see here. We've got Astrid. All right, hers is pretty good here. But you rolled a 4, so I'm sorry, Astrid. 10 is her total, though. Felix. Oops. That was silly. Try that again. Oh, Felix got a 3. And I'm so sorry, I'm rolling crap for your stealth and stuff tonight. And who else? Oh, Reinman. Woo! She got a 19 this time. All right.
Ooh.
Redeemed herself in the eyes of the stealth god. Okay, so this time it's Felix that's sort of, clunking through. He's just thinking about, the tasty food he had, and I wonder, thinking about recipes as he's going through all that. And totally distracted. You all, managed to find your way through the woods, navigating successfully because you've got the map and it's really not all that far away. Yeah, uneventful trip there, and you approach and find a bit of a broken down cottage. It's livable-ish, but it's clearly it's in disrepair. This seems to be the old cottage that he spoke of.
I'm gonna stop, just kind of like crouching outside of it, or like back in the trees, and then I'm gonna go over to M and I just want to double check.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use the compass?
Shit. I don't have it anymore. Reinwin has it.
Shave off.
I washed my hands of it.
Ryman's
Our
not
dog's
saying a
farting.
thing. She's just looking at you, Ormia, like, yep, you've got to come ask me for it kind of face.
I'll go over to Reinway. I don't want to put anyone in danger. If he's not here, I don't want us to waste our time. I just want to use the compass to check. Just once, for a few minutes. And then I will give it back.
Emil will try and move behind Ormia.
You gotta beat my passive perception, which won't be hard, but
Yeah, go ahead. Ooh, 15. Oh, no, wait, that was just for the woods. Yeah, go ahead and roll if you want to. Or was that for... And what is your...
my passive is 12.
Ooh. Yeah, so you don't really notice him coming up. Ryan says, I thought that we weren't going to use this unless we absolutely had to. Like, my concern is we use it here, and if he's not here, because wouldn't that just be really easy?
If he's not here, I will give it back to you, and we'll go see if these people are here, get information from them. I need to know if we're going in to do a rescue or to go and do questioning.
And what if there's no more information to be had?
I'm not giving up, and I will search for him.
Then you'll be asking us again, can I use this compass? My first thought when we arrived here and we saw that family was, thank goodness she filled back up at the party. I'll put it up to everyone. This isn't my decision alone. But those are my feelings on it. My concerns. What do you think? And she kind of turns. Everyone's gone. I don't want to roleplay with myself. She looks at Kaylin.
Switzerland, that's what I think.
That means you have really good chocolate. And you make great watches.
I think Emil's gonna whisper from like right behind Ormia, would you two be quiet? Give me 5 minutes. And then he's gonna disappear and head to scout out the house.
Right. You keep
That's
vanishing. I
alive.
keep forgetting that you're here.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, from a super, super quiet, right behind your ear, comes Emil's voice saying that. And
She would kind of automatically turn and like go to like punch. It's like, oh gosh, it's you. Stop doing that.
Why
Nice.
can't you just go inside and search?
Emil's going. Like, let's let Emil do this. Who has the inspiration type, by the way?
it's
know it's
Kaylin.
Okay.
All right, Emil, go ahead and make. I mean, I guess you made a stealth check already. Make an investigation check, I guess, as you're sort of scouting. Ah, okay. It's really dark inside. There's only so much of the cottage you can see. There is light pouring into the windows. It looks like someone's been here recently. You, what did you roll? 14. You do see some really tiny dishware, like a little tiny cup, sprite size. That's the only thing that gives you any indication. Otherwise, it looks like a normal sort of worn-out cottage that maybe someone's been camping in. The only thing that gives you any indication of Sprite's presence, possibly, is just a little tiny cup set. That's it.
which direction is the party from?
Oh,
this?
sorry.
Are we-
Right. Let me put you all on the
Yeah.
on the map. That would help. All right. So y'all approach from down here. So I'm going to put you like on the porch, Neil. But everyone's came up in the bottom left here. We've got M. Oops. Here. Got Ormia. And then where's Ryman? I want her to be right there too. This triangle. Kaylin is sort of awkwardly over here.
Alright.
We've got Emil. We got Felix. It's probably just following up. And Astrid, right?
I'm gonna do a full tour of the place on the outside.
Okay.
I'm assuming that there's two doors. There's the one on the porch and there's the one at the northeast corner.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Also,
Okay.
I feel like we'd be a little bit further into the trees, not like right by the cottage. Like
Oh,
I don't
right,
want to
there's-
be. I don't want to be out in the open like this. She was hiding. We were hiding in the trees still, in case they were there.
I'll put you guys down in the bottom right then for that. Sort of over by the trees here.
So I'm gonna do a loop and I'm gonna try and put an alarm spell on the back door.
Ooh, okay. And what are you setting it to? Just medium, creatures that. Or I forget how the spell works. Sorry.
I'm reading it right now. Tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area. I can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm, which is my teammates. And I'm gonna have it be a just a mental alarm.
Okay. All right. So you do that, and as you scan around, I mean, as you're looking in, it seems as though there's no one here. You can't really see what's on the tables. It looks like some items on the table, but you can't really make out what they are. Smaller items, different sizes.
That's right. You're human. You don't have dark vision.
Thanks for the heads up, Nevik, by the way. Okay. And that's essentially all you see as you make your rounds.
Okay. All four windows are closed, or it looks like the one at the back is open or broken.
It's broken. The one in the back's broken. The one right on the porch there, where your token is currently, is broken. But you can see through them all. Yeah, they're fixed in place. It doesn't look like.
So I've been really remiss in discussing this with you, but I'm not quite clear on what Seb can and can't do. For example, he could probably fly in the broken window if it's big enough, right?
I mean, that is a given. Yeah, definitely. There's some commands that I think you can teach him up to 2 commands where he's at currently in your relationship. But he can definitely do that. That'd be easy peasy.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch through the front window as he flies in the other one and just see if he attracts attention or everything happens.
Okay, so you were watching from there. There's there aren't walls. Like if you're looking in that window on the porch to the right, you can see that there's sort of a wall-like structure. It's really one of those big screens that folds back and forth and back and forth. It sort of gives the illusion of a separation there.
Is that window better for looking at?
Yeah, you can see clean.
Okay.
I mean, he blends in quickly as he flies in. Does he fly right over to you? Or just around?
Just, I guess, around, maybe up to the rafters or something.
Okay. So he flies around and doesn't seem to attract any attention. Seems to be relatively quiet, no noises that you can hear coming from inside.
Okay, I'll report back to the group and say that this looks like the right place, but it's empty right now. As far as I can tell.
I'm gonna stealth up to the cottage.
Okay.
It's empty. Okay, I'm going. Just don't even say anything, but I'm being quiet.
Nice.
Can I want to look around.
I am not being quiet.
Maybe the outside of the cottage.
Okay. You kind of, tippy toe up to look into the windows, and you see essentially the same thing, Kayla. Now you have dark vision, right? You're mountain dwarves. I think you have dark
Yes,
vision?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
So you can see that on the table there's again some dishware, some just regular household things. There appears to be maybe a journal of some sort on the circular table near the fireplace. There's a stairwell that you can see as you look through one of the windows, but it's broken and doesn't, whatever used to be the top of this building is no longer there. The stairwell's broken and it leads to nothing. So you see again a bit what looks like a journal. Again with dark vision, it's black and white. You get shapes, but not any details. Not fine details. So it looks like that. You see a couple other items that look moderately expensive. There's even in the dark, though you can't really see details. It just looks like some.
Right.
There's a mirror. There's a piece of clothing draped over one of the chairs that looks. Again, it's kind of tough to tell, I guess, with dark vision actually, but it looks fancy.
Right. I mean, can I walk around the house and look around since Ormia's going inside to look?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Is the door locked?
It's not. It's unlocked.
I draw my sword and open the door.
Okay. Quick! Swings open. Sword drawn and ready. Kaylin, what do you want to look around the perimeter for?
I'm just looking to see if there's any sign of someone being around. I mean, around the perimeter of the building, or
Good.
anything of interest. Roll a perception check.
Yeah, please. Woo, doggy. Yeah, you don't see anyone. It seems to be pretty quiet out here, pretty peaceful. Sounds of nature are undisturbed. So
Even around the side there to the around the side of the house, where on the map where there's the well and the doors downstairs, I guess.
Yeah, same thing. You do the whole perimeter, and you don't really spot anything. Okay, Ormia, you open the door. You step inside. Again, you've got dark vision, so you see most of the same. Again, there's what appears to be a journal on the far side table. There's almost looks like maybe
on that circular table right there that I'm standing next to.
Yeah. As you approach, you see on top of the journal is a really nice timepiece that one would tuck into a jacket pocket or put on a chain. And there's a really nice mirror to the side, and a very almost a silken type robe hung over the lowest chair in that picture. And,
do I recognize any of this stuff? Especially the pocket watch or the robe?
You don't, but you recognize it as being fairly pricey. This is definitely noble level stuff. Seemingly out of place here. It's a
Definitely out of
tea
place
set
here.
of some sort, like someone had tea here at some point.
I'm gonna look at the current entry of the journal.
Okay. You, let's see. Alright, you pick up,
I'm not gonna pick it up, I'm just gonna kind of read it.
okay.
I don't want to disturb it.
Gotcha. Alright, are you just, are you taking the stopwatch for loot or anything? Or you just, or the watch?
I'll just move it aside.
That's on the book. Okay.
I don't need it. I'll leave it for Kaylin to take.
Nice. It's one of the things that you probably would have spotted.
I was like,
Ooh.
Kaylin might go in there and take it then.
You take the watch and move it aside, and you feel a bit of a chill as you do so. You lift up the journal and start.
I don't
flipping.
lift up the journal. I leave it on the table.
Oh, sorry. Right.
I'm moving the watch so I can read it.
Okay. So you get, again, you move that, you get a bit of a chill as you move it, and you flip open the book and start reading through the first journal entry. This seems to initially here be terrible poems. A little bit disappointing at first. But as you flip a little further past that, you do see... gosh, they're angry poems, by the way. They're terrible and they're very angry. And you immediately think, oh, this sounds like that satyr, because this is really short-tempered, like hateful stuff in here. As you flip through, you do see a couple almost not diary entries, but just venting. Like, this guy really seems to just get upset about everything, and he's complaining about the elf that they're managing and taking care of, and then some more bad poetry, and then you see.
What are his complaints?
Oh gosh, they range. Some of them are, the door didn't open right, and it was already like he goes on everything in his day from big to small is just a pain in his ass, and he's like, this idiot had to deal with this, and then this moron, and then I come to this place. And this happens, and it's sort of in poem form. He's trying to be eloquent about it, but it's just so bad. So you flip through, you read through some more of that, and then you hear him start venting about this gnome, Dordan, that they pay off to send people here. And how his price keeps going up. He doesn't think the price is worth all the BS he has to deal with from this stupid, needy gnome. That chill has become like a full-blown cold.
Oh boy.
And you see some cold breath. And from the corner of the room, the northeastern corner, you hear what sounds like a deep breath at first. Like, it turns into this terrible screeching sound as a form apparates. You don't touch my watch! And she just screams and starts floating at you full speed as a Banshee has appeared in the room, apparently jostling one of her precious, expensive items from her past when she was alive, has triggered her. So Ormia, you can roll initiative. Oh, hang on, let me do a full rest for everybody. Okay. Now, go
I
ahead.
have something with initiative. I don't think I remember it yet. I think that's labor level.
Alright. And Banshee's going to do...
Okay.
And everyone else hears this. I'm just not going to have you roll initiative just yet. I'm going to let these two have their
Right.
action first, but then everyone can jump in. Hey, you're higher in the initiative list. That's good.
Really?
Yep.
Gosh.
So let me start this. Okay, Ormia, you're surprised, but your reflexes just kick in, and you are ready to.
Already.
Yeah, as this Banshee. Just for a moment, it looked like this beautiful elven woman, and her hair quickly just becomes ratted and gnarled, and her face drops, and the skin just peels off of it, and it's tendon and sinew and muscle that's just sort of stuck like that for all time as she races over, floating towards you.
Okay, crap. I was expecting combat, but I wasn't expecting combat. Not with a ghost. Okay. 1 second. Really quick, does my sword count as magical because it's got that thing on it right now?
Not yet. Nope.
Not yet. Okay. It's hopeful magical. Magic hope. Okay. All right. It's an action. Dang it. Okay. So I look up and just gonna kind of like. So she said, "Don't touch my watch."
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, and I'll just kind of shout, "Why do you care, you hideous, ugly thing?" And I'll cast Vicious Mockery on her.
Oh, nice! Oh, that's so great.
I don't know how to do spells on this.
I
don't know. I have it on the list.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. There.
Neat. And it's got the magnifying glass.
So
you actually...
She has to... Let's see. I've got it right here. She has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, why doesn't that have a thing in there? That's strange. It should have...
I don't know. But she has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I've got the spell right here, at least. And the DC is 11.
Alright, wisdom save. Ooh, 21.
Okay, nothing happens.
So she gets pissed. It has like not quite the effect you were hoping for. She gets even more pissed. She seems to be extraordinarily vain, and she's continues floating faster at you.
Ormia's just kind of like, guys, and she'll pull out, or yeah, she'll take like a couple steps back, like crap, she'll back this way, still holding the book, but holding her sword out in one hand as well.
Okay, neat. All right, so you step back like that. I put Vicious Mockery in, and it has all the stuff now under the magnifying glass. Should be open, just in case.
Okay.
All right, so that bumps us down to the Banshee. That is pissed and is. Let's see, what's her? Oh, right. She has hover speed, so she hovers over. Oh, is she gonna do that because she's the worst? Probably.
Oh no! It's possession. I think banshees can possess things.
Alright, that's just that. Oh yeah, she probably want to do this first. Oh, I forgot that banshees can do that. I don't think she's gonna do that yet. So she just, for a moment, the rot and everything is just exponentially worse, and you're struck by her horrifying visage. So you'll need to make, I think I can just roll this on you, a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
No, you can see that too,
can't
right?
I roll it? Can't I roll it? Why can't I roll it? Can I roll it?
It rolls it. Yeah, I put the save on you, and then it rolls it.
But I want to roll it. I mean, I won't get any better, but I want to roll it. Can I?
Well, thankfully you don't take any damage, but you become frightened of this creature for 1 minute. But you can repeat the saving throw at each end of each of your turns. But it's a disadvantage if you can see the Banshee.
And it's obnoxious, and I can't walk closer to it.
And that's all she can do for now. Okay, so if everyone else wants to roll initiative.
Okay.
action. Whoop. Who else? Ryan went.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Aw.
Guys.
It's a waste.
That was horrible.
No. Alright, I think that's everybody. I didn't miss anyone. Okay. That brings us right to the top. So, Emil, you heard this from inside. And take it away. Dun, dun, dun.
Not a lot I can do. 'Cause I can't even. That's my full movement, and I guess I can run and do my double movement, right?
Yeah.
You have bonus action dash.
Oh, right.
Because rogues.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. All right. So I guess I can get in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Banshee. Okay. Well, I don't think that Emil has ever encountered one of these, so I think he's just gonna fire an arrow and hope for the best.
Okay. Oh, that hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage. Whew!
Ooh.
Oh, is that a
Nice.
second attack? That rolled an attack again. Or do you have to? No, I guess not. Okay. So you draw your short bow, and you run by the window, and it's dark, so you don't really see what's going on. But as you burst into the room, there's enough light. You're near-ish that other window. You see this terrifying form before Ormia that's now cowering in fear. And you unleash this short bow, and it flies right through the Banshee's form. She reels back with a bit of pain, but it didn't do quite as much damage as you normally see with a short bow.
I think that crit and it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
Maybe want to take the 5 off of it, or
That's all right. I'm sure I've messed up enough on the opposite to warrant this, so we're good.
Actually, I would have had sneak there, right? What?
You can make out its form with the light that's in there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I was just saying I would have normally had sneak attack, but I think I'll forego
No,
the
go
sneak
for
attack.
it. No, we're good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
She reels back. You see a bit of ethereal form wisp out off the back of her as the arrow pierces through. Kaylin, that's your turn. You've heard this shriek.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to. Can I take my action surge and run twice the length to get to that?
You can use your first action to dash,
Right.
so you can move 50 feet.
Okay.
Then you can do, if you want to do your action surge, you get your whole fresh action in case you want to attack
Okay.
or whatever.
Is this a back door back here in the backyard area? Is that a door or a window?
There's a door at the top around the corner from the bulkhead.
Right.
5, 10.
Because I think that will be a little bit shorter than going all the way around to the front porch area. So I will go through there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, So that would get me through the door, right?
50. Yeah, you'd be 2
Is that
squares
right?
in from the door. You can
Okay.
travel 2 squares inside.
Perfect.
You could even go diagonally, so you could be to the square to the left if you want, but if you want to stay back there for range stuff, that's also a-okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll stay right there for range. I would try to hit it with a bow.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, okay. And oh, it's been so long. It's been so long.
Ooh. Oh,
I didn't target it, did I?
no,
No.
but let me just check her AC. Oh, that hits. So go ahead, target her, and
Yeah.
then you can roll damage.
It's control, right? Control click?
Yeah, control click.
And
Okay, nice.
Yep.
You notch up your crossbow, fire the bolt, and it pierces through her, but again doesn't do quite as much damage as you know
Yeah.
these do.
yeah.
That makes it Rhineland's turn, and she would probably blast it with guiding bolt. My best guess. You have it set. She does. Okay. All right. So she attacks. Oh, but misses. That sucks. Okay. Goes to point her, hold her holy symbol, and fire this guiding bolt, and it just streaks right past the Banshee, and knocks into the wall, window over there in the corner by the porch. And that's all she's going to do for this turn. Ormia. So you're frightened, and at the end of your turn, you can roll again. You can't move any closer, but I feel like you can still attack. You just have like disadvantage or something. Let me just check quickly.
I have disadvantage on my attacks.
Okay. So this is just, for whatever reason, this is really just sunken into your psyche, this terrible creature. The sight of her.
Alright, well, I just reaction, just gonna reach out and stab it, and let's see. That didn't, okay. I forgot to roll with disadvantage. Where's my d20? There you are. Okay.
Wow, solid.
Oops, and I
it's fine,
forgot to
it hits.
I
Yeah.
forgot to make it an attack. Okay, so that's 23.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
Woo! All right, you again. You strike through in fear, almost. Guarding
Just like,
your sight
oh,
from
God.
it, and just yeah. And it reels back, dealing a fair amount of damage, but not quite as much as you would normally think. Oh, sorry. Was there anything else for Ormia?
I'm gonna glance over, and who do I see? It's Emil and Kaylin.
Mhm.
So stabbing through, I see through it, and I see Kaylin, and I go, "This thing is really creepy, but you're awesome!" And I give you an inspiration die.
Yay,
Nice.
thank you.
Hooray!
It's a d6.
Nice. All right. That brings us to M.
Oh, excuse me, I was yawning.
No problem.
I'm not sure that there's very much that I can do. I'm all the way by the tree.
You can get to the door in the porch, basically, if you use your action to dash. But then you wouldn't be able to attack or anything. You just make it to that
Okay.
door, essentially.
Okay, Yeah, that's fine. I'll just make it to the door.
Oh yeah, that window isn't broken. I was gonna say otherwise you could probably aim through it, but
That's what I... Okay.
I mean, you can. It's just a glass window, so if you wanted to use your bonus action to, can you get to that? I think you can. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. What is your speed? You've got a faster speed. You've got 35, right? 25, 30. Oh, yeah. You can't quite make it to the window in your regular movement.
I'll just do the porch.
Okay. So you hear this scream. You see Emil run in, Kaylin run around the other corner, and you just bolt for that porch door.
It's over here, right?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And I guess that brings us to Astrid with her super speed. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Astrid just burst through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
For reals, yeah. Oh, it's 45. It's not 50. She just goes past Emersina, and the door's already on, but she bolts in. I feel like she has at least some sort of thrown thing that she can do, but maybe not. All right, she's got her hand axe, so she's just gonna come running in and toss her hand axe up out of her belt, and then catch it and chuck it at the this creature. She's just going straight in. A 7. And it just, the blade's about to hit, but it rotates over, so it just misses with the rotation and just sticks into the wall behind the rear door. And she can't really do anything else because thrown is different. Okay. The Banshee glances around, almost licking her chops as she sees everybody. And pulls herself into like a bit of a curled up position, and then rips her arms out and releases this terrible banshee wail. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is essentially. Alright, she needs to target. Oh, so it doesn't have to be line of sight. Okay. I'm just going to quickly check here. Alright, Felix and Reinman are out. And everything else is. So I'm just going to quickly target him, Astrid, Emil, Ormia, and Kaylin. As she lets out this terrible wail, it that's insane that 4 of you. Can you see these? Your successes and failures? Okay. Emersine is the only one that fails with a 1. Ooh. Okay, which is great. Still a fair bit of damage that comes from this. Ooh. And this wail just pierces your very souls and your minds, and you cover your ears to keep out the sound. It's just too much, and it pierces. You start bleeding out of your ears.
I'll start screaming while I'm trying to hold my. Just like,
on a failed save, a creature drops to 0 hit points. So you just.
I'm just down.
And collapse unconscious. Everyone else has, some blood. You feel the warm blood trickling out of your ears as you just cannot stand this piercing wail. And that's where we'll end tonight's session. I just wanted to get back to her turn because I knew she was going to do that. And this is good. We'll have, more players here so I don't kill anybody.
This adrenaline.
All right. Well, everyone's got a hefty amount of HP now, so it actually went a little better than I was expecting.
Yeah, sure. Rub it in on Emersina, who has 0 right now.
Oh, sorry, Em. Yeah. But everyone else succeeded. That could have been everyone dropped to unconscious inside the house. So that's pretty good. I can't believe 4 out of 5 succeeded. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm glad because I don't actually want anyone to get hurt.
This is good.
But I wasn't expecting 4 out of 5 to pass. That's great.
I don't like not being able to roll my saving throws. Like,
That's just how Fantasy Grounds does it.
I know, I just don't like it.
Oh, all right. That was pretty intense. Whew. That jerk. What's his name there? Dordan. Although I don't think you got his name anyway, but the greasy gnome.
Oh yeah.
The bar.
Oh my gosh! Hashtag don't screw me, Dan.
Nice. I'm pretty sure you rolled a check too on him, and he rolled like higher by like 5 points. Like you rolled a 14 or something on an insight. And I tried to play it like ambiguously, like I don't know if he needs to roll for this, and but he got like a 17 or 18 or something. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Woo! Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for an awesome session. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Part of the reason that the fawns were there, there's a number of reasons, but one of the things that as I was building it, I'm like, oh snap, if Ormia comes here, that's why I had Rhinewin say it. I was like, if Ormia comes here and her compass is empty, she's like, oh, I need to recharge now that we're here. I thought, oh, this will be like a great, temptation.
I would not have done that, actually.
No.
Like, no. I draw the line at families.
Yeah, it's like innocent children. No, like she's in it, but she's not in it that deep. She's not
Good.
chaotic evil.
Close friends, yes. People who's gonna save my life, yes. People I've never
don't
met.
even know.
who
You
are
don't even
small,
understand.
No.
You don't even understand. You don't know my life.
What are you laughing at?
All right, well, I'll probably wrap it up there. I know it's late and it's been a long week for a lot of folks, so we'll wrap up. But thank you, players. As always, you guys rock. I can't wait to move into next week. There's some more really thrilling stuff, and I'm very eager to see hopefully everyone make it out of this this encounter. It's probably
Hopefully everyone.
it's a challenging encounter. It's a Feywild, so I felt
Wow,
it needs
damn,
to be
that
more
is
challenging.
not. You can't say that, dude.
The DM. I hope you all make it.
Oh,
Hopefully
gee, thanks, as
someone
I'm
will
lying
make
unconscious on the
Everyone
porch.
survives.
To tell the story of
There's
you
gonna
so
be
much.
one person. There's gonna be one person standing amidst all the rubble.
Hopefully someone survives.
It'll be Seb.
Best of
Seb will,
luck.
Seb will be sitting up there and be like, "Okay, I guess everyone's dead. Fly away."
And next week, all the banners will say Seb Watch instead of Storm Watch.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks again. It was a lot of fun. And thank you, chat, too. Of course, you're always a blast to read. It's hilarious. I always go back and scan what I missed. It's hilarious. All right. Hope everyone has a great night. We'll catch you next week, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern, as per usual, for the next episode of Stormfall. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.